welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a bit of a different video today. This is something I've watched on YouTube quite a lot and something I've wanted to try and do myself, which is I want to start doing a couple of rebuilds here and there. So the first one I wanted to attempt is actually Wolves. Wolves, obviously a club a few seasons ago, they were deemed as like the best of the rest in the Premier League. They were around 7th, they were doing well. Here, so 7th. So 7th place finishes, went straight from promoted to back-to-back 7th. They've done really well when they first got promoted, and it's been sort of a decline since then. 13th, then 10th, and this season they've struggled quite a lot. So I want to see if we can get back to there, and maybe even push on further. As you can see here on the honours, 3 Premier Leagues. They've won the Premier League in 1954, 1958, and 1959. 4 FA Cups, 1893, 1908, 1949, and 1960. So the 1949 until like 1960 is like seemingly their golden years. So let's see if we can repeat some of that glories. They've got really good facilities, but financially they're not in a good place. So balance is currently minus 9 million already. I don't think it's going to go lower because we've got quite a big wage budget, which we're actually over at the minute, which isn't great. So I'm trying to shift a couple of people out, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Quite a lot of debt as well. Gift loan repayable on when he leaves, so we're not looking to pay that, but this one we are paying. So remaining 56 million. That one we are paying each month as well. So it's quite a bit of debt there. So I want to see if we can rebuild them, potentially get some youth players, but because of that large debt, I think what I may have to do, unfortunately, is sell to buy on here. Buy, improve, and potentially sell. But we'll see how that goes. Staff-wise, I've improved the staff because when you start the game, they have like 2 coaches, barely any scouts. They have 2 spaces here. So I'm trying to improve that. I've got 1 more scout coming in who should hopefully improve this. But it's looking alright so far in there. I'll just go through the business we've done. So I haven't done too much. I've got 2 players in. One which is Roberto Gallardini from Inter Milan. He was very cheap. He was only 3.5 million. Really good, well-rounded player. I want him to play in that middle for us. We've got a very little amount of depth in the middle. We got Nunez, Neves, Martinho, and him. So, bit of poor depth there. The next player was Umar Solet from Salzburg. Again, really good player, but I needed depth. He's a leading championship. I reckon he'll improve on that. But a centre-back, we had Kilman, Collins. It says Johnny, but I don't really believe that. And these 2, which are youngsters, they're not really that good. So we needed to improve there, and I feel like he's a really good player to bring in. On the outs, there's 1 player I've sold, which is Connor Ronan for 2.6 million. He's gone to Stuttgart. Wasn't really going to play for us. We have plenty of depth in the attack, so I figured just get rid of him. The other player I'm looking to try and sell is Totti. He's a centre-back, good championship player, but I'm hoping if I sell him for 1.9, I'll get his wages on that, and I can move all the wage budget, the transfer budget into the wages to try and balance that out, but we'll see how that goes. So that's the business we have done. Pre-season wise, we lost against our second 11 1-0. We beat SL Lobendorf 7-2. We beat FC Madrid 4-0. Stripfield 6-0. Gloucester 6-0. And Watford 1-0. This is what we're rocking with. The Gegen press. Or Gegen press. I don't know why I keep saying Gegen. Gegen press, which is what obviously seems to be the meta in Football Manager. Our lineup doesn't look too bad. Obviously, Guedes, Neto, Jimenez, Nori, Kilman, Collins, Johnny, Sarr, Neves, Martinho. It's just depth-wise. We don't really have a lot of depth. So hopefully that's where I'll be. I will hopefully see if I can improve some, but it doesn't look. I haven't got the money to do so. So hopefully this lineup can boost us up the league. We can get some money, maybe even get a European run, and obviously look to then improve the lineup. But this is what we're sort of going with. Let's look at our best 11, because I don't even think we've improved that. Yeah, so Johnny, Kilman, Cody, who's out on loan. Can't recall him, which is a shame, but I'm hoping. Optional free. So he's valued at 35 to 42, an optional 4.5. Do you know what I may do? Mid-season, I'm going to offer him a new deal just to see if I can keep him, because I think he'll be a really good player for us here, and I want to keep him. I don't want that going, so we'll see what we can do there. But this is what they reckon is our best 11. Jimenez, Traore, Guedes, Nunes, Martinho, Neves, Kilman, Cody, Johnny, Tomato, Sarr. So that's what I think is our best 11. Let's simulate now the first season, and we'll get on and see how our assistant manager has done. And welcome back to the end of season. This is how we are looking. I've just looked and seen this. Martinho is obviously leaving us on a free. It's quite disappointing, but he's on 100k. It's good to get that off the wage bill, I guess. But attribute-wise, not quite happy with that. But either way, ignore that for now. Looking at this, we finished 8th for the season. So 8th in the league, just off the Europa Conference League spots. Really good. And knocked out in the quarter-final by Man United. Knocked out in the second round of the Carabao Cup by Newcastle. So overall, I'd say that's a really good first season. Really promising. Let's hope second season we can try and push on. Perhaps get Europa Conference League, maybe even Europa. But I'm very happy with that. I was expecting mid-table, as the board were, around 10th, 11th, maybe 12th at a push. Around that spot. So 8th, I'm happy. Really happy with that. It's a good start to the rebuild. So let's look at the individual performances. Up top we had Raul Jimenez with 28 goals. Back to good form. Back to his best. Obviously only got 6 last season, 10 the season before. That's actually his best goal scoring season. Okay, so he's done really well for us there. Traore with 11 and 9 assists. And Kilman with 10 goals from centre back. Okay. So he's done really well, the big 6'4" centre back. Assist wise, Neves, Neto, and Traore there. Guedes had an okay season, but not really as amazing as I'd expect. Average rating wise, Traore was top. Yerson was there. Jimenez and Neves. Okay. Looking at the overall league, there's some good teams there relegated. Southampton, Brighton, so maybe we can look into them for signings. But that's a really good end of season. Still got Man United versus Man City in the cup, so maybe as a result of that we could get Europe. So could end up with Europe, but we'll have to wait and see with that. I'll come back and let you know if we have. But going into the competitions here, going into the scores, start the season not so hot. 3-0 win against Southampton there. Had a big 6-2 against Newcastle. Jimenez with a hat-trick. 3-0 against Man City, a really big win there. Jimenez, Kilman, Traore. 5-1 against Leicester. Kilman with 2, Jimenez with 2, and Nathan Collins. So centre-backs getting 3. 4 against Peterborough. 4-0 against Southampton. 2-2 against Liverpool. 6-1 against Leicester, another big result. 4 for Jimenez in that one. Traore and Robert Galdini. A 5-0 smashing to Man City. Haaland with 4 and Foden with 1. And then Leicester with a fantastic another one, 5-1. Kilman, is that 4 goals? 4 goals in that game. Incredible. End of season, really good run there. With some really good results in there. So this is how we seem to have lined up season 1. Our most common lineup, I think, is Nunes. Seems like he started a lot in centre mids. Sarr. Johnny seems like he's got Semedo, Neves, Martinho, Kilman, Traore. So it looks like he started a lot, so we may need to look to replace him. So I think that'll be our next sort of aim. But we'll see how we go in the transfer market, see how our budgets are set. Doesn't look like they've been set yet, I'm guessing because of the FA Cup, to see if we can perhaps get Europa. I'll come back at the beginning of, after we've done our transfer window, just to see how we got on. And welcome, right, to Season 2. This is the beginning of Season 2. We're just going to go through transfers pre-season and show you how we got on. So, competition-wise, we didn't qualify for Europe. It didn't work out in our favour, but there's always this season. But transfers in. All of my business was done really early. So the first one I done was a Caicedo for 25 million. I think that's a bargain. Already valued at 37 to 51, so could potentially sell for a profit. who knows? But really good player. I think he's going to be our Martinho replacement in that role. Next up was Robert Sanchez, backup keeper, 10 to 12 million. Really good stats. Good Premier League player. He's going to rotate with Sarr for me. Next up was Julian Alvarez for 17.5, rising to 24 million, 35 to 39. An incredible player, especially on Football Manager. He is really good. Doesn't really reflect it there, but I'm pretty confident we can get better for him. Good flair, good first touch, really well-rounded player. James Ward-Prowse for 11.5 to 16.5, already 24 to 35. Greater corners, greater free kick taking, all round an incredible player. He's a good Premier League player. He's 28, he's English, he's classed as homegrown in nation, so fantastic signing. And then finally, to boost up our defence, was Jorginho Scalvini for 25 million. Already valued at 42 to 51. A really good young player. He's only 19, and look at these attributes. He's only going to get better. So that was all of our sort of boost to our defence. Then let's get into outgoing. So Costa, Leo, they were pretty much expiring contracts, so I offered them out. This was our backup keeper. Sold him. I hate how it keeps going back, but we'll get through it. Then I sold Hang Win Chan for 2.5, Leonardo Capagna for 4 million, Dion Sanderson for 5.5, and Podence for 7.5. Then in this season, Martinho obviously left on a free, never free. We sold Sasa Kala for 2.5, Heo Kawabi for 4.7, Jordan for 1. Kurdo for 6.5, Benzella for 2.7. Kai Janahuva, he's out on loan. I've tried to sell him, but no one would take him. Again, Theo Corbin Blue, another loan. Tried to sell, no one would take him. Nigel Lonwich to Brentford for 10 million. He's a 20-year-old young centre-back. I just don't see him improving enough in the next year to be worth keeping around, especially when we can get that much money for him and with how our finances are. Then Chiquinho for 11 million, gone to Rennes, didn't really play for us last season, was injured. John Sankagwin, he is someone I tried to sell, no one wanted him, sent him out on loan, so hopefully I can sell him next summer. And then Yerson Muskera, again, I've been trying to sell him for ages, he's on loan at Motherwell, hopefully next season I can get some money for him. But that is our business. I think we've done really well in upgrading our squad. If we look at our squad planner now, 2 really good goalkeepers. Right back, Johnny Nelson, really good. Left back, we're perhaps a bit weak, but Johnny can play on both sides, so I'm happy with that. Also, I think Kilman, maybe he'll need some training, but I believe he could have. We've got obviously really good 5 centre backs there. Cody's probably our weakest, so I'll move him down. But he's English, really good player. I'm happy with him as our 5th choice. DM, Neves, Galdini, Caicedo, Ward-Prowse, Scalvini. In here we've obviously got Nunes as well, who is an incredible player. 96 million, that is his offer, because we got an offer of like 40 million, which I rejected. So that's the fee I agreed with him, because I don't really want to sell him, especially not for 40 million. At the time he was valued at 60. So to be honest, I tried to negotiate it to 60. They rejected it, and then he became concerned, so I said, what do you think is a fair fee? He said that. On the wings, 4 good options. And up top, Guedes, Jimenez, Fabio Silva, and Julian Alvarez. So I think we've got really good depth across the pitch now. So hopefully we'll be in for a good stead. Now, pre-season, I done a lot of friendlies to try and get money up. Literally the only reason. But this is how it went on. 2-1 against Arsenal, 2-2 Benfica, 3-0 against Porto, 1-1 against, 3-1 against Madrid, 4-2 against Dortmund, 3-1 against Grasshoppers, 2-0 against Basel, Winfer, 3-0, FCM, 2-1, 7-1 against Inter, 1-0 against AX, and 2-1 against PSG, and then obviously we just beat Antalyaspor. So it's going really well in pre-season, undefeated in pre-season, some really big teams in there as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to simulate now until the end of Season 2, and hopefully I'll have some good news for you. Guys, and welcome to the end of Season number 2. Let's load up and see how we did. Right, okay. So that's a bit disappointing. So we've actually got worse. We now finished in 10th as opposed to where we finished last season in 8th. We didn't even get any European competition, so that's really disappointing. In the Cup's 4th round by West Ham in the FA Cup, so disappointing there. And 3rd round by Man United in the Carabao Cup. So we actually done worse this year than last year. Let's have a look at our squad. So, okay. So Let didn't do well. Maldini. Kilman didn't even. Twisted ankle, so not really many injuries there. Just the manager didn't see fit to play him. Sarr didn't play much. So not a lot of rotation there. Goal wise, only really Jimenez and Guedes on there. Assist wise, only really Traore, Semedo, and James Ward-Prowse. So, bit of a disappointing season here then. Not really much to go off, but quite disappointing. Let's see. The board have given us 53 million, so I think we're going to need to reinvest it and potentially make a couple of sales, because I think we need to push on in Season 3 and try to get Europe, because we've obviously regressed here. Ultimately, long term, that needs to be our goal. Let's have a look at some fixtures and see how we done. So we did start really well. Had a good run here. Beat Chelsea 4-3, so it's a really good result. Lost 4-3 to Sheffield, lost 3-0 to Leeds. Undefeated in January. But then the season really slumped us. Lost to Tottenham, Newcastle, Man City. Beat Leicester again. Lost to Arsenal. So end the season we seem to slump off. I don't know if it's because of injuries or what happened there, but really disappointed that. Cody and Scalvini seems to be our most prominent used pairing. Okay. 5-0 win at least, so it's disappointing, but it's not what we'd expect. So we're going to have to try and build on this, try to get back up the league and see if we can get into European places. I will see you once we've done the transfers for Season 3. Hello guys, we are at the beginning of Season 3. We've done our transfer business, we've done the pre-season, and I just wanted to show you the debt. So we're still at 294. I don't think this is ever going to go down, but my concern is this isn't going down. I'm a bit annoyed because I don't really feel like we can get this down. I don't know why. It's only 700k maps. So that's like 8.4 a season. So not too bad, but it's not great. Budget wise, we are minus 19,000 in the balance. We got 40 million left to spend, but I'm not spending it. While the finances are like this, I can't justify it. It's bad enough I don't like leaving it as a minus at the end of a transfer window, but I feel like we can't improve if we don't. So I kind of have to face that and hope that that gamble will pay off if we manage to get into Europe this season. But looking at our transfers, let's go through them. End of last season, we signed Martial. Good striker, good dribbling, good first touch, good pace. Signed Bennett Barashidi for 7 million. Can grow, really good player, good, strong, good jumping reach. 6'4", he's a really good player, and I'm hoping he'll be a good player for our defence. At the minute, he is not even in our top. He is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth best centre back. So it can go either way. But what I wanted to do is, I noticed at the end of the season we managed to drop off. I wanted to improve the depth of the team. So that's what I'm trying to do here. We also signed Calvin Bassey, who is going to mainly be our left back, backup, hopefully, or centre back. Again, quick, strong, really good player. He was quite cheap. He's already valued at 31 million, so he was at 25. So it's gone up a little bit, not too much. Antonio Silva, 23.5 million, already at 46 to 50. Really good young player, can improve a lot. I'm really happy with that. Ian Haggy on a free. Be honest, good corners, good crossing, good free kick taking. Just wanted him mainly for set pieces. He's not that good a player. And for depth, my aim is at the end of the season we'll try and sell him to see if we can bring some money in. The next one was Wilfred Singo for 17.5, rising to 23. He's going to be our first choice right back. Good pace, good acceleration, good all round, really good player, and obviously his value has already skyrocketed. Moving on, we've signed Rafinha for 24.5. Really good player. Looking at his attributes, quick, good dribbling, good first touch. He was listed at Barcelona, and for that price, I cannot turn it down. Nick Pope was then brought in for 3.8 million. Really good attributes, only a 1-year contract, but just get him in, see how he does as our backup. Brandon Williams on a free, valued at 12, covered both flanks. Really good depth option. He's also English, so that'll help. Foyth was brought in on loan. He's valued at 47 million. We have got an option to buy, probably won't do it, but I just wanted more depth. So he can play DM, he can play centre-back, could play right-back. He's quite versatile, so he'll help us across all those. Now, on the outs. So, we sold... this was end of last season. Right, we sold Jun Sang Bin, a loan. Right, okay. Cody was sold for 2.5 to Southampton. Sarr was sold for 8.25. He was unhappy. I just figured, get rid of him. He was on quite high wages. He didn't play at all last season, so I figured get rid of him, just get a good backup in. Justin Murner was 2.5, and we also made a profit 8.2 compared to the 3.5 or something for Pope, so made a profit there. He also roughly a couple of years older as Pope, but I'm hoping he'll be alright next summer. We could potentially get another goalkeeper, but we'll have a look into that. Ryan Gills for 4.5, a couple of free transfers, 15 million for Nathan Tomato to Sevilla. He's gone. He was getting on the end of it when we got Singo as an option and Foyth. I figured why not. Pedro Meta for 25. He's not really performed. He's not really hit the ground running for us. So I figured 6.64 last season. I figured it was potentially time for an upgrade. So that's what I wanted to do there. Roberto Galdini, 11 million. He was quite old. He wasn't valued at nowhere near that much when I sold him. He was only 10 million, so I figured if we can get that for him, perfect. He's getting old, figured why not cash in. Kilman for 8 million, didn't play at all last season, was complaining. Again, I want us to be happy. I want us to be a happy team. Jun Sing Bin for 3.4, Theo Corbin Blue for 3.5, and then Kai Jana Hoover for 1.4 million. So that's our business, 19 million in the bank. Let's get into the pre-season. So, we beat FC Herven for 4-3, lost to Benfica 3-0, beat Roma 4-2, Rafinha, Fabio Carvalho, beat Barcelona 2-0, beat FC Eindhoven 5-3, Ajax 2-0, AZ 4-0, lost to Feyenoord, beat Juventus, beat Milan, beat Salzburg, and then beat two pretty lower down teams. So that's how we're going in the pre-season. My hope is, basically, I want us to make a run for Europe. I want us to get into one of these free spots this season. I'm hoping the signings I've made will improve the depth of the team. I will need to register them now. But the whole idea is we improve the depth of the team. Hopefully then the later run-ins, it won't really impact us like it seemed to do last year. So we've got a lot of depth now. Let's see, and hopefully we can make a run. So I'll see you at the end of the season. We are back at the end of season number 3, and we have done it. We have managed to get European football. It's a bit later than I wanted to, just because of European games, stuff like that, which meant our place wasn't confirmed, but we've now managed to secure Europa League, finishing in 7th even, sorry. So, we've done pretty well. Looking at our top scorer, it was Jimenez again, so he got 25 goals. So again, he's improved again. It's quite weird because he's obviously getting older. He's 34 now. I wouldn't expect him to still be putting up the numbers he is, but he is. So he's still doing extremely well. But that's how we did in the Premier League. Let's have a look at the other cups. So Carabao Cup, we only managed to get to the 3rd round, losing to Hull. FA Cup, we got to the 4th round, losing 4-1 to Liverpool. Looking at the results, we had a pretty healthy run. 7-1 to Newcastle, Darwin Núñez ruining us, but neither here nor there. Other than that, we had a pretty good game, losing 5-1 to Man United again. Good run here. And then the end of season run again was really poor. So I don't know what happened here. So let's have a look. So let's look at Fulham, right? So Sanchez, Foyth, Scalvini, Bassi, Neves, Casido, Alvarez. So what happened in this run? So Singo. Okay, so Foyth was out. Looking at this, Foyth was out. Bassi was out a bit. So it seems like our backups just cost us a little bit here with the shuffling of our defence. But that's what happened in the season. We managed to get back a 3-1 win against Newcastle, so we did manage to redeem ourselves in a 4-1 against Tottenham, but we have managed to qualify for Europe after the third season. So let's hope we can continue on this train and potentially get even higher. Looking at our finances, we are currently really badly in debt, so I think a big sale is needed. 76 million, which is ridiculous. So we're going to have to try and see what happens there. But I'll come back to you once I've done the transfer business. We are back at the end of season number 3, and we have done it. We have managed to get European football. It's a bit later than I wanted to, just because of European games, stuff like that, which meant our place wasn't confirmed, but we've now managed to secure Europa League, finishing in 7th even, sorry. So we've done pretty well. Looking at our top scorer, it was Jimenez again. So he got 25 goals. So again, he's improved again. It's quite weird because he's obviously getting older. He's 34 now. I wouldn't expect him to still be putting up the numbers he is, but he is. So he's still doing extremely well. But that's how we did in the Premier League. Let's have a look at the other cup. So Carabao Cup, we only managed to get to the third round, being losing to Hull. FA Cup, we got to the fourth round, losing 4-1 to Liverpool. Looking at the results, we had a pretty healthy run. Some big, 7-1 to Newcastle. Darwin Núñez ruining us, but neither here nor there. Other than that, we had a pretty good game, losing 5-1 to Man United again. Good run here. And then the end of season run again was really poor. So I don't know what happened here. So let's have a look. So let's look at Fulham, right? So Sanchez, Foyth, Scalvini, Bassi, Neves, Casido, Alvarez. So what happened in this run? So Singo. Okay, so Foyth was out. Looking at this, Foyth was out. Bassi was out a bit. So it seems like our backups just cost us a little bit here with the shuffling of our defence. But that's what happened in the season. We managed to get back a 3-1 win against Newcastle, so we did manage to redeem ourselves in a 4-1 against Tottenham, but we have managed to qualify for Europe after the third season. So let's hope we can continue on this train and potentially get even higher. Looking at our finances, we are currently really badly in debt, so I think a big sale is needed. 76 million, which is ridiculous. So we're going to have to try and see what happens there. But I'll come back to you once I've done the transfer business. Hello and welcome to season number 4. Yeah, season number 4. I'll show off our transfer business, but you are going to notice our balance is 91 million. No matter what I do, I can't seem to get this up, and I don't actually understand how. It just isn't going down. So, I'm trying to offer out our, important players for transfer fees, but no one's willing to pay anything reasonable. Like, if they're valued at 60 million, people are offering me 25 to 40 million, which just isn't good. The board will then get on me if I sell them, so I need to try and figure out a way to sell some people for some higher values to get this down. So I think our business is done though, so because that's not happening. This is what we've done. So, end of last season, we bought in Saliba for 35 million, order value at 52. The idea is hopefully I'll sell him, potentially to be a leading Premier League player. Got in Ruslan Malanqui on loan. Good player for set pieces. Really good player around across the board. So hoping he can come in and do a job for us. Alex Mariba for 15 million. He's 22, already valued at 55. At this point, I just realised I need to start signing some young players, and that's exactly what I've done with Endrick, who's already valued at 83 million. So I'm hoping these guys will come in and do a job for us. Looking at... I have just realised something. I haven't got a backup goalkeeper, have I? No, I do not. I don't think I can afford to buy one is the problem. You know what? Jackson Smith, you are a backup keeper. Jackson Smith is our backup keeper for the season. Not great, but I don't think we can currently afford, with our balances like that, to buy a backup keeper, so I'll leave it at that. Unless I manage to scout one on a free transfer. Let's actually have a look, see if we can get one on a free transfer. Expired. Position. Goalkeeper. Let's try international caps, because that'll usually narrow down. Hopefully we'll get a couple of good players here. New Zealand, no, he's not really after scratch. 40. Again, the same two players. 20. Okay. Two Maltese. Okay. I'll offer all of these guys a trial. And we'll see which one stands out, because we need a backup keeper. And I'll come back to you on that, but it won't be for any monetary value. On the outs, we sold... No, we sold... Johnny and Pope went on a free, Collins went for 9 million, and Hagi went for 2.5. So there are only two outs. But that is how we're going to line up heading into season number 3. If I show you our best 11, so pick without restrictions, best 11, this is what we're rolling with. So hopefully we can continue on in the league and try and push up that league table. But I'll be back at the end of the season. Hello and welcome back. I just wanted to give a bit of an update on a couple of transfers we've done. So we tried to get a bit more out of the balance, and we're now down to 20 now. It's on 98. We've had to sell Traore. Only 8 million. He's worth 28 now. Reason being, he had a year left on his contract, was refusing to sign a new deal. But the values I'm getting for players is not good. Like Guedes, guide price 60 to 72. The offer I got for him was 28 million. Where's the next one? Rafinha, 60 to 65. The offer I got from him from Milan was 6 million. 6 million. So it's not good. I am trying to get a keeper in. Kepa is my number one priority, so we'll see how that goes. But I've sold Traore for 8 million. Martial for 8.5. He didn't really do what I wanted him to. He didn't really play much, so I think I could just cash in on him. And Neves for 54. Again, he's worth so much more, but we needed a big sale, and I'm not getting the values I wanted for players. He's not really set the world alight either, so I think it is worth a gamble. So I've sold him. Obviously, our midfield three is still solid to me. We've got Nunes, Casado, and Ward-Prowse, so it's still a solid midfield three. It's just whether or not we can continue to push on. But I'll see you at the end of the season. Hello, and welcome to the end of Season 4. Let's go in to how we've done. So we've just finished the last game against Norwich, I believe. Okay, so we finished 10th, qualified for the UCL. So league-wise, we've dropped off, which is quite disappointing. It's a bit of a shame we've dropped so far. Fabio Silva, our top scorer, with 23 goals. So that is nice to see. Him being our top scorer is nice to see, so hopefully that will continue. Europa League, we've won it with Guedes with the most amount of goals at 10, 16 in the league. It was really good. Third round of FA Cup and quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. So you'd have to think we'd be happy with that. 60%, 100%, 21. Yeah, that's a really good season for us. Let's have a look at some of the performances. So, general selection info. Top scorer was Fabio Silva. Guedes had 16. Endrick had 14, so Endrick done really well as well. He's improved a lot, so he's now 100. No release clause, I sort of tracking, so he's improved a lot as well. Raul Jimenez with 14. He is retiring at the end of the season, so good for him. 10 for Badashile, 6 for Nunez. Assist-wise, Ward-Prowse and Endrick top, and then Guedes. So a really good season there. 59 is not great, but I think that's where our focus is going to be this season. We're in the Champions League now. Quite happy with our attack, especially based on that. I think next season, where our attack should be. Clear. Oh, yeah. Yes, right. So, around this point, I came back for the youth intake. So, at this point, I believe we were like 17th. So, I decided what I would do is I'd give a try changing tactics. So, I'm going to put the link to the tactic in the comments below. But after that point, we changed it. And this is the result since. So, I think it's clearly worked. But this is what we've changed to. Now, question I've got is how do we fit everyone I want to into the tactic? So, Guedes, where can you play? You can play there. Okay. So, this is what I think our tactic should be next year. Our attack should be at least. The rest of it, I'll leave it picked, but that is going to be our attack next year. But overall, it's a really good season. We've done really well. This is something we still need to sort out, so I'm going to come back to you guys once we've done our business, and hopefully we'll be in a better position to move on. Hello and welcome to the start of season number 5. We're going to go through the transfers. This is what the balance is looking at. As you can see by the transfer budget of 160 million, we've made some sales. Unfortunately, this is the max we could get it down to a 22 million. The debt's gone down by about 40 million, so hopefully that will continue to head down. But let's go into the transfers. So we'll start with the outs. Sol Mitter, a youngster, has gone out on loan. I kept getting transfer offers, I just decided to loan him. Kepa has gone for 7.5 mil to OM. Reason being, he was good last season, really good backup to have. Actually, according to this, he wasn't. 6.10, I'd say is okay. This I wouldn't say is. So maybe it's a good thing to sell him, but I bought in a replacement, so that's why. Omer Solet has gone. I've been trying to sell him for ages. He's gone for 4.5 million. Ryan 8 Nori, 30 million. I sold him just to make some money, but I didn't realise that these guys get 50% of the transfer fee, so that didn't benefit me as much as I thought it would. Should have checked that first. Sold Rafinha for 40.5 million, which is extremely frustrating when you look at that value, especially considering we had £60 million offers, which would nearly clear this balance, accepted for him, and he just kept rejecting them. Kept rejected Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, was not having it. He literally told me, because it asks you to discuss it with the player, don't want to leave. So we were a bit limited there. Victor Svensson has gone out on loan. So they're the outs for now. Was there anyone else? No. They're the outs for now. So we brought in 83 million. And signing wise, we spent less than that. But these are the signings we made. So we've made Julian Lecoq for 8.5. He's a young wonder kid striker. Great potential. He's in our under 21s for now. We also signed Vukan Duric, 5.75 million. Again, another wonder kid striker. Really good dribbling. Good all round. Really good mentals. Only 19. Can improve a lot. 5 caps already for Serbia and 1 goal. So really happy with him. Eduardo Arim, again, another wonder kid. 16 finishing, 16 first, 17 heading. Not great pace, so I'm looking to improve that. Same with his dribbling. But only 18, Sky Bet Championship, potential Premier League. He's a striker. Hopefully he'll do well and improve for us. Emerson Royal as a free transfer, rallied at 30 to 33. So if he gets some minutes and some game time, hopefully we can potentially sell him. Or whatever happens, he could be sold in the future. Obviously this is going to be the final season, being the 5th. But a good free transfer to have, good depth option to have. Atra Ozrak, good young keeper, now valued at 66 million. Good wonder kid, Sky Bet Championship. Potential for he is our Kepa replacement. He is the backup to Robert Sanchez, so he's going to be a good signing to have. Vladan, 5.75 million, a centre back, really good potential again. Good attributes, only 19, Serbian. Milos Kerkra, 12.5 around 17. He is our replacement left wing back, so really well rounded. Valued at 32 million. I just think his versatility, he's a really good player who can play at that wing. Good crossing, decent pace, good passing. Not the best marking, but as a wing back, we won't need that too much. But he's a good option there. And then 10.25 for Scott McKellar, who is a wonder kid centre back who is on loan at Motherwell for this season. I have realised, because we're only doing 5 seasons of this, me loaning him out's making no difference, but I will leave the save file download below, so if anyone wants it, they can use it. We also bought Cole Palmer on a free, good resale value, good young English player, and Tellers on a free as well. He's only going to be here for the season. He's going to be our backup left wing back, but good crossing, good corners, good free kick taking. His mentals aren't too bad, so he's going to be our backup left wing back. But they are the transfers for this season. I will see you at the end of the season. Hello, we are at the end of the season, the end of the final season with Wolves. Let's see how we've got on. Right, okay. So, 8th in the league, which isn't too bad, I guess. They only expected top half. But obviously no Europe for next season. Knocked out in the league stage of the Champions Cup. Winners of the Super Cup, so we did win the Super Cup. 4th round of the FA Cup and 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So I'm going to be honest, I'd say that's quite disappointing. Top scorer seems to be Endrick for quite a few, so it seems like he's had a good season. 28 goals, now valued at 105 million, so he's doing really well for himself. No release clause, which is good. But I'd say that's quite disappointing. Let's get into the fixtures here. So, right, we started the season really well. Apart from looking like this, lost 3-1, 4-4, 1-2, lost 3-0 to Newcastle. So we lost quite a few games in the league phase, and then we won our final 2, but it wasn't enough to redeem us in the league stage. FA Cup, we lost to Coventry. Quite disappointing there, but looks like a bit of mid-season form or drop-off really cost us. End of season we weren't too bad until here. No real standout. So yeah, in the Champions League we lost all and we didn't pick a win until the final 2. So really disappointing there. Carabao Cup, beat Cheltenham, lost to Newcastle. Super Cup, who did we beat? We beat Real Madrid on penalties, so that was quite good. But the Premier League, really bad form here, really cost us. And 8th's quite disappointing. One thing I found interesting, our board have given us 105 million. Balance is down to 6 million, so that should put us in the positive next time. But 105 million, come on board. Why? But let's look at the squad. So how did everyone do? So top was Endrick with 28, then Fabio Silva with 19. Julian Alvarez got 13. Cole Palmer got 11. Balashi got 6. Assist-wise, Ward-Prowse 18, 16. So it's quite a good team. Quite a good squad we're building. But I think this is obviously going to be the final season. What I'll do, I'll put the save file below if anyone wants it. This youngster looks like he's coming on, if anyone wants to carry on. Got quite a good young squad here. Looking at this, quite a few really good players there. But it just didn't happen for us. We just couldn't get past our 8th space. Hopefully, if any of you do decide to continue on, you'll have a lot more success than me. But this is how we finished off. Overall in our spell, history, competitions. What have we won? So we won the Europa League. I think that's literally it. Where? My profile. Yeah, so won the Europa League and the Super Cup. That's all we've really won. It's a bit of a shame. Obviously, this is my first taste of a rebuild financially. Didn't do as well as I wanted. We got like 100 mil off the debt, but it's still quite a lot to go. 131 will not move, won't budge anyway. But only a few more years left to pay this off. Once that's cleared off, should be in a much better place with this, and hopefully you can push on. But if you guys do carry on, let me know. If you have enjoyed, leave a like. Any comments, feedback, leave it below. I think my next one, I did enjoy making this, so let's see if we can do another one and hopefully we do a lot better. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and goodbye.